Hi, everyone. This is Candy Johnson. I am your host, and this is Real Talk brought to you by Real Raw Records. Today's topic is what is a leader? All right. With many of our topics, we gear our broadcast to answering questions or dealing with certain issues that affect our everyday life. Just real talk about real shit going on and real things that we deal with every day in common everyday life. All right. There are a lot of people online that do broadcasting, and because a person has a lot of followers or a lot of subscriptions or a lot of friends on Facebook or what have you, people tend to view them as leaders. Okay. Now, I brought that up to point out a fact. Okay. Not to say that everyone who has a lot of subscriptions or followers are not leaders, but I want to specify the fact that because that they do have a lot of subscribers or followers does not make them a leader. All right. What it does make them is very creative. It also points out the fact that they have figured out a niche, something that attracts people, all right, and they're capitalizing on that to earn income in doing so, okay, and capitalizing on that. And so that within itself does say that they do have some entrepreneur skills, but what it does not prove is that they are leaders. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to understand and know what a leader is.
Like you're taking it in the context of a home where you have a father who is the leader of the home. Now, and you talk a lot about his authority, but he's a leader by responsibility. It's a responsibility, and the authority, whatever authority he has, should be completely linked to what the responsibility he has.
Yes.
More authority than his responsibility requires for him to have. I mean, he's responsible for raising these children so that when they become adults, they can be leaders themselves, and
Yes.
right. So, and you were talking about the definition of leadership, like the words. So I did look it up, and
Good.
Wikipedia has two different ways of looking at what a leader is. One is simply somebody who people follow.
Right.
So they just naturally become a person with leadership
Right.
qualities. Or a person who specifically motivates and organizes a group of other people to achieve a common goal, which is what we have a lot of those kinds of leaders in this community.
Right. I myself, the first definition I can really relate to because I never wanted to per se be a leader. I always wanted to be more so a behind the scenes type of person. But people would always follow me. They would always do whatever. They were like, well, Candy's doing this, and look what Candy's doing. Candy did this. I'm going to do, or they wouldn't even verbalize it, but I would see them copying off of what they see me do,
Right.
And, so I think in that sense, you have people that are born leaders. So, that we didn't make the decision and say, I want to boss somebody around one day, or we didn't idolize other people that per se were in leadership positions, because I didn't ever say, follow me, do what I'm doing, or anything like that. I always just, I was always very confident and driven, and I guess for that reason, I'm not very sure why people follow me. All I know is that they do.
Right. And how do
I,
you think a person who has a natural charisma, or they're naturally leaders, how do you think they should approach having that gift?
with humility and from utmost humility. Now, some people I need to do a segment on humility, because people think laying down and letting people walk over you means you're being humble, but it's not the same. Um,
No, not
what
at
I
all.
mean, yeah, what I mean by humility is, um, don't get the big head. Um, take compliments with a grain of salt, criticism with a grain of salt, and also understand the responsibility that's been given to you. To that even with leadership now, there's some accountability that goes along with leadership. As I was saying about the father, yes, he has the authority, but then at the same time, now, if he's making decisions based on his ego, or just because he the boss, type of, decision making, there's consequences to that. All right, there's consequences. So
Right. You now have power because with leadership, suddenly people are looking to you, and now
exactly.
the things that you do are going to be affecting other people's lives, either for the better or for the worse. So there is a responsibility and a need for honesty, especially with yourself.
Definitely. Hmm.
Yeah, it's a responsibility. It always comes down to leaders have a responsibility, and every leader should be doing. And I totally believe this is true. It's my opinion, I guess, but every leader should be consider himself a servant to the person that
Yes,
they
I am
are leading.
definitely a servant. I'm a servant all the way down to the bone, baby.
Amen, sister. Yeah,
Yes, yes, and listen, yes,
that's the humility part of it. Is that
yes,
you are doing this for the people. You're doing your leadership duties or responsibilities for the people you're leading.
yes, yes, yes. It's ultimate servitude. To me, it's such an honor to be a servant. In our society, it has been looked down upon to be a servant, but I think it's the most honorable thing to be a servant. To me, that's the highest level of accolades that God could have ever given me. And I thank him all the time for that. All the time I thank him for that, because I deem it very honorable to be a servant. And because in order to serve, as you said, be a servant, you have a lot of people that are following you, and they're looking at your example, and you're responsible of a lot of things. So I deem that a very honorable position, and I don't take it lightly.